live. Let's go live. So we are. Hi. Let's go live. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Medical Mondays with Dr. O. I'm Tony Okpesomi. I'm a physician, family practitioner who also treats HIV and drug addiction in the state of Maryland. And I've been blessed to host this program every Monday at 7 p.m., where different specialists come on the forum to educate us on different subject matters and also to impart knowledge into us that would help us prevent disease entities. Tonight is very special to me because we have had increased numbers of what should not be seen or observed amongst us in children in the name of autism. And also, older folks are now becoming more demented than usual. Numbers are rising. We need to do a lot of research to figure out why so we can stop this. But tonight, I'm not going to say much. I just want you to listen to see, I would say, what the Lord has done. We have here Dr. Filipe Muhale, who is a research scientist who was born and raised in Maputo, Mozambique. Dr. Muhale received his college and university education in France at University Henri Poncare, Nancy 1, where he earned a Master's of Science degree in pharmacology and biochemical pharmacology at the School of Pharmacy, doctoral degree in biochemistry and biomedical engineering at the School of Medicine. Dr. Muhale has decades of research experience in the fields of neurosciences and molecular cancer cell biology, and he is the founder of Mind Vital Pro that we'll be talking about tonight. Dr. Muhale is married with 3 young boys. In addition to weekend family meals, he enjoys listening to music and reading authors in their original Spanish and Portuguese languages. He also enjoys French Creole music from Martinique, Guadeloupe, and Haiti. Between spring and fall, Dr. Felipe enjoys walking in his backyard garden where he likes to grow hot peppers, green herbs like basil, parsley, sage, and thyme, as well as cassava plants for the leaves. He loves to make a dish called matapa in Mozambique or Congolese pondu. So you can tell our speaker tonight is well-rounded. And before I yield the floor to him, I want to give the disclaimer again that we are not establishing patient-doctor interaction on this platform, but we will share correct congent information with you. Please write down your questions and raise your hands at the end of his presentation to ask, or put them in the chat box, and at the end of the presentation, I'll read them, whichever way you like it. Without much ado, Dr. Muhale, the floor is yours. And welcome to Medical Mondays with Dr. O.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ho, and thank you very much to everyone who is present and who will be watching this presentation. We are here today to talk about Mind Vital Pro, which is a plant-based nutraceutical to help with brain health for both kids and growing people and adults. And I would like to make clear or make a disclaimer This is not a medicine. This is not intended to treat or prevent any disease. It is a dietary support for brain health. But before we entered in our conversation about Mind Vital Pro, I would like to introduce myself briefly, and hoping that it will help us understand the path that we followed to get here today. So after my PhD, I came to the United States to become a postdoc at Washington University. To become a postdoc at Washington University in St. Louis. And the reason why I came was that at the time, I was interested on working on probiotics and oligosaccharides of breast milk as products to be added to baby formula. Okay. However, when I got there, my boss had other plans, and he put me to work on the molecular mechanisms by which colon cancer cells escape to gamma radiation therapy or chemotherapy. Well, that work opened the doors for me to join the Forming Institute of Pharmacogenomics and Individualized Therapy at UNC. There, I had a lab that was meant into identifying the genes of interests for chemotherapy in colon cancer. Okay, and it was a system where in one experiment we test thousands and thousands of genes at once, and after which the data is treated by informatics, etc., etc. But the main goal, again, it was to be able to identify genes that would be the most important to study in case of cancer, colon cancer therapy. After that, I moved to work at the Hamner Institute, where my job was to validate a gene has a new target for the treatment of breast cancer. I did other things there too, but that we can pass. Well, during the study of this gene, it turns out that it also resides in the mitochondria. And we didn't know very well about that. So that meant that I have to study the functions of the gene in the mitochondria. And in order to do that, one has to use chemical products to inhibit or stimulate one or other gene and then measure the effects and so on and so on. The problem with that is that those compounds also cause lots of background noise. And it can be challenging to discern between the real response and the noise. And for some reason, I fell into a paper where a guy had a plant product that could be used as a probe for the mitochondria. So I started looking around for more of those probes. And for my surprise, when using those probes of plant origin, my results came cleaner, okay? And it was very important finding that plant products that exist in the nature worked that well. So I became crazy about plant-based products. And for that reason, I decided to join a group at New Orleans, at the Neuroscience Center of Excellence. This group is led by a man who discovered that under insult, for example, stroke, our cells, in particular the neurons, synthesize molecules from omega-3 fatty acids and other diet-derived fatty acids to make potent molecules rich with pro-healing properties. So I went to join them to use my knowledge and experience in dissecting the intercellular mechanisms, okay? Again, I was extremely surprised to find out that those products originated from plants are used in extremely low concentrations, okay? Several logs difference. In other words, it's like somebody made a new premier gas that you just need an amount equivalent of a cup of coffee to have a round trip that you could get with a full tank with a regular gas. Well, while I was doing this work, my boss approached me and he said, you know, Filipe, by 2050, the number of people with Alzheimer's disease, at least in the United States, will be very high, and it will overwhelm the health system, the economy, etc., etc. And there's no cure. In other words, there's no FDA-approved drug to cure Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative disease. So let's take a different direction, okay? Let's create a cell and gene therapy strategy has a way to treat Alzheimer's disease. So the idea is we take the skin of the patient, we isolate the fibroblasts, we put them in culture, and then they become neurons that can be transplanted to the patient's brain. Since it's his own cells, we expect not have issues with rejection. And we succeeded on creating a protocol, a cell culture media that allows the transdifferentiation of fibroblasts into viable and active neurons. And we have patents for that technology. Okay. Well, now that we kind know a little bit each other, let's get back to the main reason of our meeting today. Again, we designed Mind Vital Pro, which is a plant-based medicine with probiotics to help people affected with autism spectrum disorder, Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's disease, and also as a support for their families. So our strategy is a dietary approach to help both the developing and the aging brain function more correctly. So what is the problem, as I mentioned before? Today, it is estimated that in the United States, over 7 million people are living with Alzheimer's, and that number would reach 16 million. One of the reasons is, I would say about 5 decades ago, people start to care about their lifestyle. They start to go to gym, dieting, taking supplements. Goodness. Okay. Okay. Mr. Newton just visited me. And because of that, people live longer. We see a delayed physical aging. However, little attention is given to the brain, okay? Therefore, our brains age in a normal and regular rhythm. And I would not talk much about this, and I would like to suggest us to revisit Dr. Antea's presentation, the one from last week, where all these issues are explained in detail, detailed in a good manner. Okay. Well, so because of the combination of physical interest in physical health, we have extended life expectancy today. However, we have a natural risk for developing age-related neurodegenerative disease. Okay. Well, the other side of this issue is personal. Okay. The other side of why we developed Mind Vital Pro is personal. My first son was growing normally until the age of 3. And then his language and other things started not to go properly. And by the age of 5, he was diagnosed with autism. And following it, during the 3 years, we did all sorts of prescribed therapies. We attended behavior, we attended speech therapies at home, at the clinic, and he was taking prescription medicine. But it was problematic. Academically and socially, he was having troubles. Getting calls from school to say, hey, come on, pick up your son. We cannot have him in class. It was almost every other day, okay? And so we struggled a lot. And when he was 8, we found out about medicine that was costly, okay? But it's a syrup where they recommended 5 milliliters a day. And when he started taking it, it was like a life-changing event. He started to be more controlled, no less calls from school, and so on and so on. But 2, 3 months later, we start to have problems of lack of sleep, irritation, and you name it. And so because of that, we tried sometimes to take off this medicine, and in the absence of this medicine, things got worse. So we said we have to stick with it, but we have to find ways to modulate its action. Maybe we need to support this with other things, namely plant-based medicine. And that's when I decided in 2022 to work on plants that would help with autism. I also have friends, 2 of my close friends, who independently were asking me to work on developing a nutraceutical. A nutraceutical, it's a plant-based medicine to help with Alzheimer's for their own personal reasons, okay? One was affected and the other one was because of his family member. Well, they insisted, and after a year, I accepted to start working on that product. And on fall 2022, we created Mind Vital Pro. I have a problem that I am the first person to question what I'm doing. So I said, okay, here's the product, but we need to test it in real people. And I would need to have at least 20 people. And within weeks, they have recruited 21 people. And the other demands I made was these people will have to answer to a questionnaire, a health questionnaire, and they will also have to sign a consent form for the study. They all did it. So I asked them to take 2 capsules a day, every day, during 3 months, and then we would have a washout period, and then retake again to finish the study. Well, when we are getting close to the 3rd month, they said, I'm not stopping to take it. So we ended up the study after 4 months. One of the observations we had was in relation to sleep. So the question was, how do you rate your quality of sleep between very bad to very good? And on the left side, we have the results before the study, and after 4 months, you can clearly see that the percentage of people responding to have a normal to good sleep was increased. I intentionally did not put p-values, okay, because my goal is to see the trend. If I had 200 people, then I would show those p-values, for me, more believable. Actually, the p-values were good, but just as a matter of precaution, I need more people to believe those p-values, and especially people that I don't know. Anyway, The other question that we asked was, how many hours do you sleep? And most of the people, close to 60%, slept between 7 and 9. And at the end of the study, what was amazing to us was that the people that said they slept less than 4 hours, it was less than 1%. Okay? And the people who have a normal sleep, we had an increase in the percentage. The next question we asked it was in relation to mood. Did you see any improvements from negative to positive mood? Well, this question came up after we began the study, because I had one last question in the questionnaire. Is there anything that you want to add? And the question of the mood came up. And so we decided to monitor mood from the first month, and we use that as our reference. As you can see, there was also an improvement from people who said no difference to ones who said that there was an improvement of mood. The last question that I would share with you concerns focus and memory. At the beginning of the study, we had as much people who said that the focus and memory was good as much as they said they had troubles with it. And at the end of the study, the majority of the people said that their brain energy, their focus, and issues with memory was improved in a clear manner. So to summarize this study that took place between November to past February 2023, we saw that most people said they observed an increase in their mental focus, and that there was a decrease in the sense of anxiety. Their mood was better. Actually, some of the participants asked that the partner, the husband or the wife, would be the one answering this question in relation to the other person. I also had a case of somebody who could not eat tomatoes, was on omeprazole, and had other allergies. And the lady said that she was now eating tomatoes again, and her GI, gastrointestinal issues, were less prevalent at that moment. And globally, people said, I just feel better with this study. So these are the results that we got with the adults. I will go back to my in-house results, okay? Last spring, we were called, my wife and me, to meet at my son's school with his teachers, main teachers, all the therapies, counselors, etc., all the help group that the school put in place to assist my son. And they said that based on their last 3-month observations, they decided that he no longer needs to receive this extra help, which means no more speech therapy, no more behavior. And in class, he takes the tests in the classroom with his classmates and so on and so on. Okay? And the reason was that academically, he was at the same level as his classmates and no longer had problems of behavior. Okay. And in the meeting, a representative of his now middle school was there, and they all agreed that that's the path to follow. School started about 3 weeks now, and my son is now part of the music band in the school. He plays clarinet. Okay. So from the time when we were called at school because we had problems, now we have a regular student. Of course, from time to time, you will see something, but it's no longer the nightmare that we were living in. Okay. For 3 years now, he has been taking 2 capsules of Mind Vital Pro a day. Okay. The miracle medicine, we cut the dosage by half, and it has been 2 to 2.5, and it works. Okay. We were able to reduce the number of prescription medicine that is taking now to 3. Okay. So having seen what happened with the adult study, and the participants have been taking Mind Vital Pro now for 3 years, we decided to share with other people. And of course, one of the questions that can be asked at this point, how it works? Well, I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay? But I know what are the targets. And before getting to that, I will briefly explain how Mind Vital Pro is made. So we treat the plants at temperature and pressure, controlled conditions of temperature and pressure and time. And after that, those products are fermented in the presence of probiotics, again, with controlled atmospheric conditions as well as temperature and pressure for predetermined time period. And the juice that results is used to dry and make a powder using a technology called lyophilization. This is just a fancy word to say freeze drying. So the juice is frozen to ice and then put in the machine. And when the temperature in the machine is about minus 25 Celsius, the system kicks the vacuum pumps, it takes off the air out of the system. And when adequate vacuum and temperature conditions are reached, the water that is in the form of ice sublimates, which means that the ice becomes gas or vapor. And that gas, that vapor of water, it's taken off the machine. So in my case, it takes about 3 days, 2 days and a half to dry the product. It is important to use this kind of technology because some of the molecules and the probiotics are heat sensitive. Okay, that's why we do this. Well, the powder then, or the solid is pulverized in the powder to desired granularity, and we use that powder to put into capsules. Okay, we have a machine that allows the separation of the top and the separation of the capsules in the two parts, and then we have machines like this to put the powder and then lock with the capsules. And after that, the capsules are counted in a machine like this one. Pardon, it's exactly the one we have. And we package. Oh, no need to extend time about this. One fact that I would like to add here is that the lyophilizer, the capsule loader machine, and the capsule maker machines, I bought them thanks to participants of the study who asked me if I needed anything, and they provide me the money to buy those machines that now we have. Well, so let's get back to the initial question is, how does it work? Well, to answer to that, I just would like to clarify some words so that we're all on the same page. So Mind Vital Pro, I repeat again, is a nutraceutical which use plant food products that are endowed with medicinal properties. And those plant food contain sugar molecules that we cannot digest, but they are food for the gut bacteria. And that's why we call them prebiotics. And the gut bacteria that we have isolated and we can ingest, we call them probiotics. And during the process of fermentation of the prebiotics, we have subproducts that have pharmacological properties, very important pharmacological properties that we are using in Mind Vital Pro, namely amino acids like the gamma aminobutyric acid and short chain fatty acids. Okay, so I don't know why it works or how it works, but I know why. The why is we selected the plants to target these key points. One is neuroinflammation, the other one is mitochondrial dysfunction, and the last is called dysbiosis. During neuroinflammation, I will try to explain one by one quickly, okay? In a normal, healthy person, we have cells that are like the police, they're part of the police in our body. And at the same time, they serve to clean up when there is injury. These cells are called macrophages, and in the brain, they call them microglia. And those cells have two physiological phenotypes. In the healthy and normal healthy person, where the environment is normal, that's what it said on homeostatic, the phenotype is M2, okay? These M2 microglia, they produce molecules that help the growth of the cells in their environment. They produce molecules that protect neurons, and in case of injury, they accelerate the healing process. But at the same time, we have a small fraction of microglia that are called activated. They call them activated because they are called to repair the tissue in case of insult. And they produce cytokines or molecules to increase inflammation, okay? Another way, it's by increasing, they produce oxidative stress. However, all these actions that are aggressive are made in a controlled fashion in terms of intensity and time. And as the wound that was created starts to heal, the microglia, activated microglia, start readopting the resting stage, which is the M2 phenotype. So we have this happening in our bodies normally. But when we have situations like due to aging in Alzheimer's and other disease, where the central nervous system is chronically inflamed, the activated microglia are the predominant form that is found. You can see that I put a small and faint green line to say it's not one or the other, it's just a shift in the balance, okay? And what it is interesting here is that the shift from M2 to M1 or vice versa can be induced just by the changes of the environment, or by using medicine, or by using plant food diet, by using exercise and other ways, okay? So we used that property, okay? We selected plant food medicine that we know the bioactive phytochemicals. Phytochemicals just means plant chemicals or pharmacological plant chemicals. And we know that these molecules have a multitude of properties. Some of them are antioxidant, okay? They protect the cells from induced cell death, okay? The other properties that these molecules have, it's what it's called mitophagy or autophagy. What happens is when we have chronic inflammation, it will affect the mitochondria, okay? Mitochondria are our power plants. A healthy mitochondria makes, just to give an image, from one molecule of glucose, it makes 32 molecules of ATP, which is our currency for energy. But when you have mitochondrial dysfunction, no longer we have efficient production of energy, okay? We can pass from 32 to 2 molecules of ATP per molecule of glucose. Well, among these products, in particular, yerba mate, through chlorogenic acid, we know that this molecule is able to repair the mitochondria by increasing the process of cleanup of the defective mitochondria. Okay. And ultimately, the combination of these products will help, it's aimed to help the microglia to transit from M1 phenotype to M2. Other effects of these products is that they help as antidepressant. They have antipsychotic properties. They help with sleep quality and they help with memory. Well, the other part of our equation is the subproducts from the fermentation with probiotics. Oh, hello?
It's all right. You can go on.
Okay, sorry. The postbiotics are important because one of the things they do is to help repair the intestinal lining. So the barrier that separates our intestinal lining from the rest of the body is restored. They also help restore the barrier in the brain. Okay, so we have a combination of the effects of the postbiotics and prebiotics that may be the reason why we saw the results that we observed in the study. I will skip talking about dysbiosis. So Mind Vital Pro is made in two presentations, one for the adults with 500 milligrams per capsule. We recommend 2 a day, but one can go more than that. And we also have a formulation for the kids, which is half of the weight, and there's also changes in the composition. Our goal ultimately is that by helping people with this product, we will help them with delaying brain aging. And by combining delayed brain aging with now established delayed physical aging, we hope that people will age in a much better way. And I will stop here. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so, so much. So, okay, I have a question, but I have to yield to the audience. I see Dr. Jagwe has his hand raised. If you please unmute, that would be great. And ask your question.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Muhale.
So, Dr. Muhale, kindly
Yes,
pull down the slide so we can.
sorry?
You can pull down the slide.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Jagwe, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying thank you, Dr. Muhale, for the extensive presentation. But you made it very easy to understand, even though it's very technical and all that stuff. So thank you so much. Now, before the program started, I raised the issue of the prebiotic, probiotic and postbiotic. And I can see that you really addressed them very well. My question now is, are you aware, because I think part of the focus for the topic today was Alzheimer's disease, or, cognition, loss of cognition, and, memory loss and stuff like that. Are you familiar with the publication? Maybe not, but there is a publication out there that actually alludes to the direct connection between gum disease and Alzheimer's disease. And I posted the link for the
Huh.
article on the group chat. I mean, on the
Okay.
chat. So anyone who wants to know more about that can check that out. Gum
Okay.
disease has
Mm,
been linked directly to Alzheimer's disease.
yes.
By necropsy, they did dissect. They did a dissection of the brains of patients that died from Alzheimer's disease, and they found direct deposition of the antigens from the Porphyromonas gingivalis, which I talked about at length, in previous presentations, that they
Okay.
found it localized in the
Huh.
brain of Alzheimer's patients. So the
Hmm.
question we may be asking now is this: with the knowledge of prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics,
Mhm.
there are probiotics that are necessary for the mouth that actually controls Porphyromonas gingivalis, which is never been talked about in most places. Nobody knows it exists,
No.
but it does exist. And the byproduct of that is when you have the probiotics for the oral diseases, to
Mm.
prevent oral diseases, you can also enhance the production of nitric oxide. And the nitric oxide is very, very important even for the perfusion of the brain, just like oxygen, crossing the barrier in the lungs and so on and so forth. You need that also for the the blood vessels of the brain. So I just wanted to introduce that so that in case you haven't heard of that before, it's something to look into. That, okay, are we able to formulate stuff that will prevent gum disease before it gets to the point of destroying the brain?
Wow. Um.
Kindly put down the slide, please.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop sharing. Just stop sharing.
Oh, stop sharing. Okay. Oh. I'm still. Okay.
Yeah, stop
All right.
sharing. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Where are we? Okay. Share. Okay.
Stop sharing. You're saying.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. Post. No. Okay. Is it still sharing?
Yes,
Yes.
let me see if I can help you. I don't
Yeah. It's not.
know. No.
No.
Okay, you know
Oh,
where you started off?
yeah. I will just close the. Yeah.
No, where you started off sharing your slides, right there
Mhm.
on the top of your screen, it will say
It,
stop
it,
sharing.
it-
And on yours, it could be bottom that says stop sharing.
no, it's not. Okay.
There you
Finally,
go.
there
You
we
got
go.
it. You
All
got
right.
it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank
Hmm.
you. Yeah.
Dr. Muhale, you might have to take a course in digital, what is this called? Digital sharing.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Uh,
Dr. Ajagbe, thank you so much. But
yeah.
I have somebody who has a question.
Okay.
Ms. Nurat, kindly unmute. Kindly unmute. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Good evening, and I'm so happy that I'm able to attend this meeting this night. So I have a question.
Please.
So I have a son that is autistic, and he started. I noticed it when he was 2 years old, and I noticed that when before that he was talking, he was singing and doing everything, and all of a sudden he stopped
Mhm.
talking. So, and up to now, he's still not talking. He's only blab, and he's over. If I have to rate his from 1 to 10, I would say it's 10. Like his own autism, he's not talking. He barely eats. He barely communicates, and it's a lot. But of recent, it started, but we didn't use any medication. We did not use no medic. The only medication that I used for him was is only like melatonin, just to
Okay.
sleep.
To help sleep, yes.
Yeah, then at a point in time I have to go to the doctor for I don't know what happens. Sometimes you just start this tantrum and it's just like everywhere.
Yeah.
So he recommends clonidine.
Okay.
So that's PRN. So
Yeah.
and I use it once in
Clonidine.
a while. Clonidine, yeah. So and that's
Mhm.
all. So my question is, have you seen a situation whereby an autistic, because I know not all autistic child don't talk, some talks, but mine is not. Actually, you can hear his the background. That's what he does. So and he flaps his hands. So have you seen this where he can? Because I'm still hopeful that one day he's gonna talk.
Yes.
So I just want to share, to just enlighten me on the situation, about the situation. But I'm hoping to this medication, if it's gonna work for him. But
Okay.
officially he's been eating now, because I would say right from 2 years old, he not eat. He only takes chocolate milk. He only takes chocolate milk, and it's 1% chocolate milk. And all he does, he just eat finger foods and all that, and it's just like
Yes.
it's as tiny as anything, and it's as tall, and
Yeah.
it's very strong.
Yeah.
So, but of recent, he started eating, because there's nothing I didn't do that's just to make him eat. He didn't do all that, but of recent he's eating. But I did no medication. No, like aside the melatonin and that clonidine, which is PRA, I didn't use any, because I really want to know what it can do without any medication. Because I don't want to take any medication that is gonna like, if I don't use the medication, I won't be able to withstand my son,
Okay.
because he's gonna. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But I just want to know if what he can do without medication, and which we didn't do. So with this medication now, that what you say that is a plant based, and what you say you can do, I'm open to try to see how it can help him.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's have Dr. Muhale respond to you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Madam, I'm really sorry for what you shared with us. It's hard. I can feel it in your voice. And I hope we can be of some help. First, Mind Vital Pro is not a medicine, okay? And secondly, I am a believer of plant food products to help with our health. I'm a strong believer of probiotics and prebiotics. I preach that everywhere. And at the same time, I believe in medicine, okay? In the help that the therapeutic products give to different conditions. I also believe that attending therapy sessions to help with speech and behavior are necessary steps to take. That's my own experience. And by combining those classic therapy strategies with a nutritional approach, we believe that better outcomes can happen. Okay. I don't believe that we are at the stage yet where nutraceuticals replace medicine. No, these are separate kind of products. One is a medicine, the other one is a support. But if we put both together to work side by side, we can have better outcomes. I don't know if I answered to your question.
He does. He goes to school. He has the therapies, the occupational speech, and others. All those. He has all those. So, and it's not that I'm doing by myself. We go to doctor for consultation and all that. I'm just
And
saying,
she does have clonidine to
yeah,
take as needed.
yeah.
So it is asking that he wants to make sure that you do understand that using the nutraceutical, he wants you to continue those necessary interventions that you're already doing. Does that
Yes,
make sense?
yes, yes.
Does that make sense? I think she agrees. She gets it.
Okay, okay.
Wait a minute.
Thank you
Did she
very
drop?
much.
I think she might have dropped off.
No,
I'll,
I'm
Okay,
here. I'm here. I'm
oh, great.
listening.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
great. So you understand that. I think you got it because
Yeah.
you said it
Mhm.
yourself. So
Yes,
I think as we go along, if you post in the chat box, as soon as you're able, how people can get the nutraceutical, that'd be great.
yes. Okay,
Okay, so
right.
is your question answered? I want to be sure that your question is answered. And I have a question from what Doc just said to what you said, Mrs. Nurat, that I'm going to ask on your behalf. But I have some hands raised, and I always respect those first. So we have, oh, this is my cousin all the way from London. And geez, you know what time it is now there. Chief Dr. Michael Ogunleye, kindly unmute, sir. Kindly unmute, sir.
Yes, thank you very much,
Fantastic.
Dr.
Welcome, sir.
Brown. How are you? The problem I have with the analysis, thank you very much. Well documented, well explained, Dr. Mohin. Um, but the sleeping pattern that you show in the graph, just 7 to 9 hours, is it the working age group? And how do they monitor the sleeping pattern? And what age at what age are this group of your sample? Um, it looks like subjective outcomes rather than you know
Objective.
objectives. So I just want to know what kind of group are they, and if it would be nice if you break it down by age, by the age, and of the group of the samples, because it's so awkward to see that people sleeping for 9 hours without the sleeping medication, or they are like sleeping aids medication. So please, can you explain to me to the group? You know.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Filipe, before you answer the question, there's a question in the chat box that goes along with it that
Oh,
I want
okay.
to tie to that says, did you implement any mechanisms to track the sleep patterns? So,
Uh,
so that's another question.
okay. Well, no. I did not. As I said, or I did not stress this clearly, I am a small business, and this was a preliminary study based on answers to questionnaire, okay, weekly questionnaire. I don't have a lab where I can, there are lots of things that I would love to question and test, but unfortunately, I don't have the means for that.
Okay, so what age range were the people in this study?
Yeah, so the adults, the youngest was 33 years old at the time, and we had people over 80, up to 83 years old.
Okay, so to answer the question on the 7 to 9 hours, it's
Uh-huh.
totally, this is all totally done. We have had a sleep specialist come on Medical Mondays with Dr. O, and
Mhm.
actually her own average sleep time, she's a physician, is 10 hours.
Okay.
She sleeps
Wow.
for 10 hours. That's when she functions well.
Wow.
There's a research that was done on the brain. You know, we know how a lot of systems, maybe every system cleans itself out
Mhm.
in the body, but we did not know how the brain cleaned itself out. A
Mhm.
research that was done a few years ago, it's maybe within the last 10 years, shows that the brain cleans itself out in sleep.
Yes.
And so sleep is very important. And at that time, they also looked further to see how many hours of sleep is needed. These were in adults. And I don't remember the age range, but they were all adults. And they found that everybody has a different sleep requirement. Some people function on 4 hours, some on seven, some on eight, some on 10, you know, it varies. What they found that was significant in this study is that you should know how many hours of sleep your
Mhm.
body requires, and you should be consistent in sleep. So if you go to bed at 10 and wake up at 4 a.m., keep it constant.
Mhm. Mhm.
When there is no, when sleep cycle is, you know, erratic, then it increases the chances of dementia in the future, was what this study found. So keeping consistent sleep hours
Mhm.
regardless of how many hours you sleep, it's just important you know how many hours you need. It's important. So, yes, Uncle, to answer your question, 7 to 9 hours, people who work actually sleep that long. It depends on how they work their schedule. Yeah. So,
Okay then.
assist in that.
But
Yeah.
that's sleep 4 to 5 hours. Max of 5 hours a day.
That's
You
what your
just need
body requires and you function
to
on it. And that's if
that's
that's
fine.
what you do and it's consistent, then you're fine.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
May I add a small fact in relation to sleep? When we say that during sleep our body cleans up, one of the cleaning is the defective cell, the cells that are broken and they have broken organelles. And if we don't sleep, the cleanup or the destruction of these defective cells, these defective organelles accumulates and it creates oxidative stress, which is we find it everywhere in the disease. To address that, we added plant products that help with the cleanup of defective mitochondria. I use the barbarism mitophagy, and it's a chemical in a product that now you can find in the supermarkets has a T, yerba mate. Okay, so yes, we took that in consideration. I am a basic research scientist, so I don't know much about sleep requirements, but I can think on which mechanisms are needed to help improve the sleep. That's where I'm comfortable answering.
Thank you. And that's where you have me, who does the
Thank you,
answer.
Doctor. Yes.
So, Sister Paula, and kindly unmute. Then, Madam VP, you be next. Sister Paula, I'm glad you raised your hand.
Hello,
I'm glad you raised your hand because you have a question in the chat box about
I
dose.
do.
So if you can ask
Did,
that together, that would be great.
did you call me?
Okay,
No, Sister Paula is next. I said you will
Okay.
be next after her.
Okay.
Thank you.
okay. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Muhale, for the very informative episode. Um, I have a 6-year-old autistic son. As a matter of fact, his older brother, 7, was also in the IEP program for developmental delay, but fortunately, he improved. He met all the milestones. He's now full-blown, age-appropriate kid.
Amen.
But on the other hand, his younger brother, very smart kid, can read books that 30-year-olds are reading. He's just not socially there. He is not someone you can educate and expect him to meet the expectation from that education in terms of like, stay here, wait till I come downstairs. Before you come out, he will be just gone. He can't cross the road on his own. He doesn't take turns during playtimes, and he doesn't get very aggressive, but I've noticed as he grows older, he's become more dominant in terms of role plays. If he doesn't get his way, he can pull and he can hit, but he does take directions with a little caution given to him. My question is, this medication, me and my husband agreed that we're not going towards the route of any medication for any of our children. But like the young lady mentioned, we do give him melatonin sometimes during the school weekdays that it's 9 o'clock going to 10 o'clock and we're having a challenge getting him to sleep. We'll give a dose of melatonin to help him sleep. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't worked. How long did your son or your kid, how long was your kid on this medication before you start seeing improvement, 1? And 2, the dosing you mentioned, can someone who already met the milestones but still has issues like ADHD, they said someone who has not had concerns of doing their homework, but all of a sudden you have to be with them one-on-one to do their homework. They're mentioning they're losing focus and you don't know where this is coming from and they're suspecting ADHD. So is this medication something that a kid that is full-blown autistic can take and someone who is also developing some focus and memory issues or things of that nature can take, and the dosing, are they specified on the bottle?
Okay. The answer is a clear yes. As a matter of fact, everybody in my house takes it. My wife, me, and all my children. And yes, for a children that has improved in terms of the symptoms of autism, similarly to my son, I would strongly recommend taking this. And I would say in about 2 to 3 months, there will be sudden changes in something. Okay, maybe the kid will start not running, left and right without reasons, much less. Or they can start being interested in more food. They also want to eat what their brothers or sisters are eating. But after 4-6 months, there will be more solid changes that will be obvious to describe. What I am doing with plant-based medicine, clinicians are doing, for example, by using fecal transplantation. So basically what they do is to take feces from healthy, so-called healthy, normal growing child or adults and insert those for whatever way in the colon to help replace the gut bacteria. Well, I did not want to make you tired about that very important part of the product. By being able to correct the bacterial population in the intestine, you are also able to correct the production of molecules in the brain, the neurotransmitters, okay? And by doing that, things like behavior, things like sleep will be improved. But before I finish, I want please to repeat, this is not a medicine. It's a nutrient. You can simplify by saying it's a nutrient.
Understood.
But the answer to your question is yes, I would recommend for everybody to take, in particular for kids that were diagnosed with autism, ADHD, or simply just to help the kids to have more brain energy.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's me.
And the dosing is specified on the bottle.
It's 2 capsules a day.
No, she's asking if the doses will be specified.
Yes, it is. It is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to call on our own Madam VP, Madam CEO of NAPAC. Kindly unmute, ma'am.
Hi, doctor.
Hello.
You look fantastic in that purple.
Thank you.
Purple rain.
Thank you.
This one.
So, thank you for bringing the gentleman. But my question is to Dr. Ajagbe. I mean, for the first time, it kind of makes sense to me today when you're talking about the connection between gum disease and what was this? Alzheimer?
Yes.
Yeah. Because the mouth is the point of ingestion. Everything goes through the mouth. So definitely there are areas of accumulation or whatever you want to call it, whereby things are stored there and never get out and it can build up to be disease. So now when we're talking about, you said there are probiotics for gum disease. How do you know a good one? Because every situation is exploited. When you Google something like that, you would have maybe 10 products. And
Yeah. It's difficult. But definitely you have to go by what the manufacturer claims to be the effective, population of the viable bacteria that actually does the work. Just like you buy yogurt, when you buy yogurt, for instance, the one that I use, I'm not plugging for any company, but the one that I found out to be very effective, and they seem to have it verified, is dahi, which is probiotics for the hind gut, colon cleansing and stuff like that. So all I know is this: for somebody who has propensity or who is prone to having gum disease, either because of chronic debilitating conditions like uncontrolled diabetes and so on, you need something to control the gum infection. Whether it is going to be improving oral hygiene, a combination with antibiotics to make sure that the gum becomes very healthy. What I found out is, yes, from the scientific standpoint, probiotics are very effective in improving the oral microbiomes, that is the bacteria condition of the mouth. However, in order for you to control long term the gum disease, you can use chemistry, a simple chemistry of neutralizing acid as well as introducing oxygen. So explained this in the past, that just using baking soda and peroxide can control the oral environment into healthy, into a progressive and continuously healthy environment. So that would be the way I can tell you. Nobody can truly verify unless you have a lab. If you don't have a reference lab or any what you call consumer advocate laboratory that actually verify exactly what the manufacturer is saying, you cannot disqualify whatever any one of them is saying. You just have to accept it by faith that what they are saying is true.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Madam VP, was your question answered?
Hello, Madam Lara, where are you?
Uh-oh.
She stepped away.
Right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was saying right here. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Was he
Got it.
answered? Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Dr. Izugu, kindly unmute. I'm sure you're still at work. Yeah, I know it. Good evening. You are not clear. You are not clear.
Okay. Hold on.
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for that presentation, Dr. Muhale, and thank you. It's a very sensitive topic. I have a question more to do with diagnosis, because sometimes as physicians and healthcare providers, sometimes you can't help but observe certain things. And sometimes you come to, let's say, it's a typical thing that will happen where you come to a friend's house or family friend or something, and you notice at early stage some concern about a child. And you, as a physician, you kind of call attention to that. And sometimes it can become, instead of being received as a concern to let's investigate and make a diagnosis, it can be construed, to Fiakwa, you can't say this about my child. How could you say this about my child? And
God
then,
forbid in Jesus' name.
exactly. And that then it becomes like how, it can actually become very cantankerous when you're just trying to make a suggestion for, just to make investigation and implement treatment early. So I wanted you to make a comment and from your experience, the importance of early diagnosis and how best can, a clinician, because sometimes you see things, if you don't point it out inside you, you can't live with it when you know that maybe you can make a comment and something can be done early. And it's difficult to separate yourself from that because that's just how you're trained and ingrained. Can you comment on that, please?
Well, thank you for your question. Early diagnosis, not just for autism, but many other diseases, it's very important. And the problem with conditions such as autism, I would say if somebody has cancer, it's easy to talk about it, okay? But when it comes to autism, there are many things that go behind it, including shame, because it's like something is wrong with the parents, and that because something's wrong with the parents, it's wrong with the children. However, based on my experience, I don't hesitate talking to other parents, and I tell them, as you said, that the sooner the child begins receiving help, the better outcomes can happen. Okay, so I take the risk without hesitating to talk to people. It's a matter of the balance between risk and reward. And here, for me, the reward is the help the kid to develop properly and thereby helping the family too. That's my approach. No, I don't hesitate talking, even knowing that sometimes it can backfire.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to say that Dr. Filipe here, Muhale, is a PhD holder, very educated. His wife is a pediatrician, a medical doctor too, and there's nothing wrong with them. And they cannot be blamed for their sons. Actually, it's the three children, right? That
Yes.
the three of them
Yes.
had autism.
Yes.
And the three of them are doing fantastic
Yes.
and at different spectrum.
Yes.
So again, we in medicine need to research the root cause of this because we have not quite nailed it. But the supplements have made a difference in your family. All three boys are doing fantastic.
Yes. You know,
Oh,
Dr. Ho,
yes.
cancer, it's a field that I worked for many decades. For many years, we focused more on how to treat it. It's like how to stop the fire, okay? And much later, and thanks to the Genome Project, we are able now to pinpoint mutations here and so on and so on, and mutations that affect the therapy. That's why I work in pharmacogenomics. However, on my point of view, the most important, I think the focus initially should be to try to find mechanisms, including therapies, to assist the people who are affected. I'm not very sure, for example, that looking for mutations at this point no, would help much, for example, in case of autism. It's I fear that it would cause problems within families, actually, you know. And so, yeah, looking for strategies to help with the disease, I believe, should be our first focus at the stage of our knowledge today. My opinion. Yes.
Thank you. So Dr. Mayowa said, thanks for sharing this discovery. She says she's wondering if the study participants have one health condition or the other before they got into the study. The
I'm sorry?
study participants, the study small study you did, she's asking if they had other health issues, if they had
Oh,
any
yes.
health issue or
Oh,
other.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. In fact, the one of the persons that pushed me to work in this was starting to have cognitive decline. Okay. I had two people diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and most of them were there because a family member, a close family member, was affected by Alzheimer's. So it was not just people who want, they had personal reasons which are related with health. And the questionnaire, the entry questionnaire, it's similar to what you have in your practices. So yes, I had patients taking multitude of medicine. Yeah, only two people were healthy, 33 to 40 years old. Those were they practice the sportive people. Otherwise, it was people over 65 that participated. Yeah.
Fantastic. And we saw the improvements in that,
Yes.
in
Yeah.
that cohort. Dr. Jagbe, kindly unmute. Did you have your hand raised? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Two questions. One is, can we assume that since this supplement works on the brain, could we assume that it could be effective on children or individuals with cerebral palsy?
Ooh.
Good question.
Honestly, I don't know, sir.
Yeah.
I never addressed the question. As I said, it's an extremely complex matter. And I learned that to simplify the problem in small pieces that you can handle. So I decided to take people who were concerned about Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and autism, and I got stuck with that. And so I'm sorry, my answer is I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for being quite straightforward and honest about it. But I'm thinking based on the molecular level, where you explain how the product is constituted and what the product is doing, the microglia repair and all that stuff. As a scientist, I'm thinking, could
Yes.
we extrapolate and move things in that direction to say that, okay, this brain is not functioning properly because of the defects during birth, which affected the brain, but we want to see improvement in the brain function, and it has to do with repair.
Yes.
How can we help the brain to repair? And
Yes.
that's the question. That's
Yes.
the reason why I asked the question. That I don't think, more so because it is very safe plant-based product.
Yes.
I'm assuming that it would not be too far-fetched to assume that applying it to other brain dysfunctions
Mm-hmm.
might bring some relief. Now, unless there's a prospective study done, a randomized study, we cannot vouch for it as a treatment or a therapy, but at least if it's used as a supplement and there's
Mm-hmm.
improvement, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that individual will benefit extremely from your product, and I think it's worth looking into.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a good thing. It has to be looked into.
Yeah. Mhm.
yes.
It has to
And
be, research has to be done.
yes. And
Yeah,
we
the other question, I said two questions. So the other
yes.
question I was going to ask is, your cohort study, or the pilot study where you used 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you didn't look for it because you didn't know there could be any correlation between gum disease and their condition. So
Yeah.
I was going to just ask, was there anything that stood out to you about the oral appearance of these people that participated? Did they have crowded teeth? Did they have missing teeth, or they don't have teeth at all?
Yeah.
Because all of these can be very, helpful in coming to a consensus on how to actually help people prevent Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
Because, even those who already have Alzheimer's, if your supplement and improved oral hygiene can help them, I
Yes.
think it's something that one can look into.
Absolutely. So we have a saying, where it come from. They make a beer, let's say from corn,
Mhm.
and everybody's invited, especially the elders. Okay, and the act of tasting the drink, kuhungula, it is also a way of saying, let's share our knowledge.
Mhm.
Okay. And when I listen to you, it's what I'm getting, a
Mhm.
kuhungula.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons I am here. I feel myself privileged to have the opportunity um, to have a conversation with specialists, but more importantly, Africans in the majority. That's I I would take hours explaining why, but it is very, very important. And I'm grateful for your questions. And I am really interested on pursuing these conversations. This, I hope it's a beginning,
Mhm.
and we can dissect and learn more from each other. And I truly believe that you've got a point that we could use this product in other conditions. But I am careful answering because I haven't thought about it, and I haven't looked at it. But you have looked at it, and you have listened to what I said. You saw interconnections that I can't see, but I believe I can learn and advance from it, and so I'm thankful for that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Muhale. You are really humble, and that humbles me. Dr. Jagbe said,
Doctor, oh, we nominate you for this Kungula.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma.
That is very, 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 very important. In a research group, out of this group, will be very needed because
Yeah.
there are special situations and there are things we have all gone through
Yes.
that can be very unique in our discussions. And I think we should really pursue that seriously.
Thank you.
I agree with you, and you know me. Once we say we're doing it. Dr. Izugu is a cardiologist, interventional cardiologist, and she is one of our best in Maryland. Dr. Jagbe is a dentist. That's why he keeps talking about gum and teeth. Eh?
Yes.
But seriously, the research you did, even in those 20 people, it doesn't hurt. Because, for instance, their sleep.
Mhm.
People don't understand to do a research like this, you're not going to put 1,000 people in the sleep lab
Yeah.
to see how they sleep well.
Mhm.
It's going to be a questionnaire,
Mhm.
like you did.
Mhm.
Okay. So you can go back to them. They were the ones who put money together to buy all the equipments you're now using because they got
Yes.
benefit from
Yes.
the products. So
Yes.
I think it doesn't hurt to go back to them to just ask about dental questions. You can get with Dr. Ajagwe to see what questions should be asked. And, that would be a retrospect study, a
Yes.
study looking back to just see if they have dental issues or they're seeing dentist for a dental problem, or even now, if they have gum issues or stuff like that.
Okay.
Dr. Jagwe can help us, and I will get with him to craft the questions and
Yeah.
get them to you. And they
Okay.
can just answer it, and we can look back to then.
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
And uh, Dr. O, thank you. Uh, One of the reasons we're here is that we're looking for partners for commercializing this product. And so if you are interested on getting involved, we will provide the contact information through Dr. O, but I place it in the chat box, the website for Mind Vital Pro and the email contact. But I'm also available for phone calls, and I believe we
don't worry, I'll share
will
your
deal
contact.
with the
I'll share your
okay.
contact as
Thank you.
needed. I will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr.
Madam,
Muhal, this is
Mad-
Kungula right here.
Gungula, is it Kongula, Gungula, whatever it is, Doctor O, you're in
I'm
that
passing
part.
it. I'm passing the calabash. I'm passing the calabash.
And Dr. Zugu, you're in that, because we want total wellness.
yes,
So,
absolutely.
Dr. Abula, I'm sorry, I didn't see, I'm driving because I can't see
Dr.
your name.
Muhale,
Brother
Man.
Dr. Muhale, yes.
Thank
So
you.
when this is all cooked up and all, because we're donating Dr. Izugu, we're donating Dr. Ajagbe, we're donating Dr. O. So how much discount are we going to get on Medical Monday?
The best possible, unquestionably.
fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So our
That's
question is clear that Medical Mondays participants,
yes.
if they're interested in the supplements and they reach out, that you
Yes.
give discounts. She's
Oh yeah.
very straight up. That's my sis.
Great. That's great. That's great.
So I have someone here who said, thank you so kindly for these powerful health nuggets, Dr. Mohale. Thank you also, Dr. Ajagbe, for sharing. Disease does harm to the heart just
Mhm.
as it does the brain.
Exactly.
It's very interesting that people did not and still do not in most places connect gum disease and oral issues with the heart.
Systemic.
It affects the heart with systemic, I want to speak English, with the heart, with the brain, with the gut, you know. I like to speak English on
Okay.
Medical Mondays with Dr. O. But on Medical Mondays with Dr. O, we have been blessed that we have had so many sessions to help us understand and connect this. So the writer who wrote that iPhone, you're right on the money. Thank you for that. Another comment is thank you, Dr. Filipe, for the presentation. This person T said they checked the products online and the products are meant for people with neurodegenerative disease only. If not, which one can one use just to help with sleep and the gut?
Okay.
So,
I am sorry that it's not put clearly. So, Mind Vital Pro, I believe I put that in the title. It's for the gut-brain axis. So we feed the gut, and through the gut, we have subproducts that direct and or indirectly affect activity in the brain. Just as an example, lab studies have shown that correcting the functions in the gut, it helps correct behavior in mice. Okay, this is to show the interconnection. So to make it shorter, yes, Mind Vital Pro is meant originally for autism, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's, and is also meant for global brain and gut health for healthy people. And that's why I said that we all in my house take it. And I know other families who do the same.
thank you.
And I will correct that as soon as possible about the information. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I met Dr. Muhale through my nephew, Dr. Shiji Alabi, and he has posted on the platform a link about Mind Vital Pro so that you can learn more about it. So I wanted to alert everyone that in the chat box, you can see that is posted. Thank you so much, my darling. And thank you for introducing me to Dr. Muhale because this is very important information and knowledge that we need to have. So I have another comment. Thank you very much for today. It is wonderful to be here. The question is related to the supplement's effects on the body. If someone has coexisting diabetes with Alzheimer's, would this affect the supplement's effects as well as the body?
Yes.
Could the supplements M1 to M2 transition mentioned today affect the adipose tissue macrophages or change body weight / adipose biology as a side effect?
I
Deep,
love
right?
word. I love that word, side effects.
Yeah.
And one of the participants of the study also used that term of side, and she called it positive side effects. The answer is simply yes, what it concerns the macrophages. The ultimate question about the weight, I don't have data. I only have observations. And it's likely. But we didn't monitor the weight during these 3 years of the study. Yeah, but it's possible. Yeah.
Thank you. So there was issue about if the person has coexisting diabetes and
Oh,
Alzheimer's,
yes,
will this
yes.
affect the supplement's effects on the
So
body?
So it's not affect. It would work on the side of whatever medicine the person is taking. I'm glad you brought diabetes because one of my field of study when I joined the neuroscience center was about the diabetic foot wound. And the focus that I had was on macrophages, precisely by helping the macrophages to transit from this polarization state to the normal homeostatic, as by using those fatty acid derived pro-healing products. So yes, by affecting the change of phenotype, it could help with a person with diabetes.
So that's something else to look at. If people are on these supplements to see if it impacts the blood sugar, because it most likely would impact it positively.
I'm sorry, there's a barbarism that I like to use because I can't find a replacement for it. It's the word pleiotropic. It means that it has a multitude of properties. And the plant food, as well as the probiotics, have a large spectrum of pro-healing properties, which, contrary to medicine, are side effects. So it's not surprising that it may help. But again, we cannot know without studying, without testing it. Right. And we cannot know if people are not asking the questions and addressing them. And we are open to look also at these other directions than the gut to brain axis. Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. So, I have this to mention, and I'm very glad for this post in the chat box. It says the root cause identification of autism can help many parents, especially of African descent, feel less guilty and less ashamed about the diagnosis. This is right on point. Please, it is not the parents' fault. Let's say we research, and researches are going on, and find out that, for instance, it's diet in pregnancy that caused this. It is still not the parents' fault because they did not have that knowledge at the time they were pregnant. Please, there's nothing also to be ashamed about. There are many disease entities that don't show themselves as obviously as autism and that people deal with. We are physicians, we see a lot. And so please, let's talk off chat if any parent is feeling ashamed or feel guilty. Let's talk off the forum. We'll put some things more in perspective. Okay?
May I add one word, Doctor? Just
please,
one word.
Go ahead. Yeah.
That the causes of autism, it's one of the main subjects of discussion in my house. And we are more and more close to believe that the environment is a big factor, maybe one of the most important factors. Because if we look at people here and back home in our countries, we are the same people. But when we're there, we tend to develop socially in a more adequate manner than we could here. And it's for a very simple reason. We have large families. We have a large network of neighbors. And this constant interaction with others will help the child with autism to adapt to the environment. And after a while, we would not know that this person has autism because it's masked by the way how the society is built. That's an opinion. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And you know what? That opinion is very legit because we've seen a lot of children who don't talk since 2020. 2020 was very interesting for us. Everything was closed. Children were not interacting with each other. And children born during that time, develop this syndrome where they don't talk. And you see that a lot also in households where parents put on this, children's programs and children sit there watching this children programs on TV.
Tunes.
But parents are probably working virtually and they're keeping the child engaged through, the TV interactions. And so
Yes.
they're not talking. So we see a lot of that. Research is still going on. We're still trying to see why. And hopefully we'll get to root causes, environment, and stuff like you said, even food, maybe that will be able to help us to prevent as we go along. Dr. Ajagbe, yes, kindly unmute. You have your hand raised again. If you talk
Yeah.
about gum, I'll be very upset. No talking about gum. I'm kidding. Go ahead. No gum.
Yeah. Since with the explanation you gave, from prebiotics to probiotics and postbiotics, and that is the backbone of the product, right?
Yes.
Okay. So technically speaking, we can say that the product can address oxidative stress. But you did mention something in that regard during your presentation as regards oxidative stress. When you were talking about the macrophages or macroglias. What I'm thinking about right now is being proactive. If the product that you have can kind of regulate the brain, the gut-brain connection, how about adding something that can reduce oxidative stress as part of the product in form of antioxidants?
Okay. Yes. So the distinction that we have here is that we have a combination of plant products. For example, at the beginning, I had strawberries and other berries and pomegranate. Basically, all the ingredients that are there are potent antioxidants. So yes, oxidative stress, it's one of the main targets, but we address it controlling oxidative stress by controlling macrophage and macroglial activity. Yes, it is possible that adding other antioxidants we could enlarge and or reinforce the effects that we already see. Unquestionably.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Unquestionably.
that's the reason why I'm asking that, because I noticed that when you were explaining it, it's at the
Mhm.
molecular level. However, if one doesn't realize that there's need to actually potentiate
Okay.
that effect
Thank you.
by adding, a physical antioxidant that actually will modulate
Mhm.
oxidative stress
Right.
at other cellular level, not necessarily in the brain, at every other part of the body. Every single cell of the body can express the oxidative stress symptoms or
Yes.
signs. So that's why, I'm thinking if you can, increase the antioxidant component of the product, it may be a little bit broader and be more effective.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. It's something to consider. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much again for bringing that up. A question is here: what side effects should we monitor with this supplement?
Okay. That's a very difficult question in this sense that virtually any molecule can cause side effects. The question is the quantity and availability of that molecule. Although our ingredients are all food products that are consumed by millions and millions of people every day in the world, we addressed that question by encapsulating the products to be delivered only when they reach the colon. So the capsules we use are called delayed release capsules. Okay? They're costly for clear reasons. And they are vegan, they're plant-based capsules. Okay? So in order to, by definition, base it on the composition and the quantities, we should not expect side effects by definition. However, we deliver those in very small amounts in the organ where they are used so that there's no distribution around the body with the non-metabolized products that could cause those side effects.
Thank you so much. There's
Thank you.
another question here. What about patients with seizures? Can these supplements help them?
It is a question that I was asked at my kids' school. And I am sorry again that I haven't addressed it. The question, I more addressed the question as, can a child and adult with seizures take the supplement without affecting the treatment they are receiving? That is how I addressed the question. And my answer to that is yes. A person with seizures can use Mind Vital Pro freely. Yes.
Thank you. My aunt, Auntie Fumi Oshifade, said she nominates herself as a participant in the research. And
Well, thank you.
yes, I'm excited. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Thank you, Auntie. Another question. Oh no, this is a comment. Galaxy A03, please always put your name, it's helpful. Says, they totally agree with the idea of having a research group within this platform. And that was what I was thinking I was going to talk about in a minute to suggest, but I will still hold my thoughts. Um, Auntie said again, thank you, Dr. M, for the interest and exposure as well as the sharing. She prays for a perfect healing on your children and all other children affected with autism and similar defects. Dr. Guleye says if she was still in the classroom, she was a professor, she's retired, and now she has a business where she does suya and skin products and stuff like that. But she says if she was still in the classroom, she would have jumped on board to give a teacher's report. And there are lots of thank yous. So this Tino Ade says she just wants to think out of the box. Do you know whether there's a correlation between the vaccines given to African parents born on the continent and this neurological problem?
Wow.
Yes, she asked this due to what the Western world in cohort with the African leadership's commitment to introducing their countries to GMO foods. If not, is it possible to direct research towards that? Tuskegee, whoa, she took us back. She said Tuskegee experiments came to mind. Hence this question. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, it's a serious question. And unfortunately, for some reason, we are here. And when we begin doing something, we have to use the available means. Okay? In this case, the population that we use it for the study. The idea of a research group or a thinking group, it's very tempting, and it's something that we should consider seriously about as Africans. And I don't have an answer, but when I don't have answers, I go back and study, learn, ask questions, and then after that, I can provide an educated and thought answer. But for now is I don't have enough information to answer directly to this question, but it's a very serious question to consider, and I will.
It is. Thank you so much. I want to say this though. Tuskegee was not ethical. However, things have changed. There are lots of ethics, checks and balances in research these days. So please don't be scared to enroll in research. It's open book. They will tell you what they're researching and, all that. So Ivan says, great time. Thank you for your time and reinforcement of lifestyle choices on nutrition, sleep, consistency in dental hygiene, improving gut health with pre, pro, and postbiotics. Grace, thank you so much. This person was listening. just stated everything that was done. Thank you. Dr. Jagbe, you have your hand raised again. You're muted. Yeah.
Two things. I think I had the issue of could vaccine be directly correlated to the onset or to the as a causative agent for autism. Dr. O, you sent me a video.
Dr. Jagbe, I'd rather we don't discuss that here, please.
Oh, okay.
It's above this level. No.
Okay. Let me leave that
We
alone.
don't know.
Yeah,
We don't know. People are still looking at
yes.
combination of vaccines with different disease entities, and the jury is still out there. Someday on Medical Mondays, if the Lord permits, and we get more results, we will share that. But please, no, because we don't have facts yet. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jagwe. So I have a question for you. We have children with autism, and already they have to be managed. And these supplements, which I have had the blessing and honor of seeing, are in capsules. You presented today that they are delayed release capsules.
Yes.
In those children, that it will be better to open the capsules or easier to put it in their drink.
Yes.
So that because they have to take it twice a day.
Yes.
So drink in the morning and drink in the
Yes.
evening, or spread through the day. But it's 2 capsules that they can spread through the day. But in drinks or in something like that, it will be better, because if it's delayed release and it doesn't work till it gets to the colon, how does that work?
Okay.
How would you give it to them?
Thank you for this question. It's something important to talk about. So for my youngest one, who is 5, yes, he likes to drink Pediasure. Okay, so this was until before the summer vacation. So in the morning we open the capsule, and in the different times he takes, we will add the powder so that he completes 1 capsule in the morning and then the other during the rest of the day. But he has changed his habits. So what we do now is, for example, he likes eggs. So we put the powder on the plate and then the omelette on the top, so that the powder is absorbed. Thankfully, the taste it's not strong, because kids with autism are very sensitive and picky to what they eat. With him, it passes. So my suggestion is, yes, you can mix it with whatever the child likes to eat or drink. And there's another fact that I want to mention. If you look at the composition, there is Saccharomyces boulardii, a probiotic. It's the yeast. Okay, this yeast resists the destruction by acid and pepsin in the stomach. So one of the reasons we have this yeast is to use as a vehicle to transport the postbiotics in case we need to open the capsule. But I don't know if I'm disclosing intellectual property.
I think, okay, maybe. So we won't go there. Let's just say it is okay then to open the capsule and put it into something,
Yes.
Okay, I have another question, because sometimes we take supplements, or we take, medications from allopathic doctors, but don't pay attention to the lifestyle changes. I'm glad you talked about last week, where we learned a lot about what we need to put in our bodies and exercising and all of that. So when or if somebody is on this supplement, they need to also be mindful of diet. Is that my
Absolutely yes.
okay?
Diet, exercising, and all those recommendations that, in particular, your family medicine specialists keep repeating to your patients. This is we're adding to what you are doing to help the patients. We are not replacing or subtracting. We are adding, we are reinforcing what you do.
Thank you. So healthy diet is still very important.
Oh, yes.
And that one I'm going to put on us parents because
Okay.
it's what we give to the children that they would eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This has been amazing. People are talking about research on the platform, and I agree. In our Medical Mondays family, we have participated in healthy choices, how to change our lifestyles. We've done 3 months. I participated in plant-based diet for 3 months. I got into trouble because I was shedding weight that I did not need to shed for me. But it works. It was obvious, plant-based diet, lifestyle changes, thus affect excellent health. So I'm sure our audience here would love to participate in research to see, to assist in how this works. But for people who have children with autism, um, it's easy if they are going to use this supplement to get background information and then to do a prospective study doing that. That would be my suggestion. People who have parents or friends of people with dementia, research can be done on them. Oh, my baby said I volunteer. Oh, there, my darling, thank you. She says she volunteers, for this. You see, audience is interested in researching. So, and I have the supplement. I started taking the supplement,
Thank
and we'll
you.
see.
Okay.
I'll
So,
report my
That's
findings
good.
based on
so,
whatever
so
questions I have.
could I make a suggestion?
Please.
Yes.
Well, why don't you have the kind of like a questionnaire like you used before, available to everybody who wants to want to start.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that way, if you included that as part of the package going out to them, they'll complete that before, and then do
Mhm.
they do a post. If you do, let's say they want to try for 3 months, they
Yes.
do it before, and then they do a post,
Mhm.
test, questionnaire, and
Mhm.
that can, even though it's not rigorous scrutiny of the research question, but at least it will give you a little bit more, much clearer, outlook to what happened before. I mean, what it was before and after they took it for 3 months.
Actually, to follow on that,
Mhm.
it's an excellent idea. However, they need to be followed weekly to see what improvement weekly. It's very simple. It could be by text message setup, it could be by email, it could be by phone, whichever anyone prefers. And a question was asked earlier for autistic children that the question was direct, and I loved it. That how long did it take for your son, your
Yes.
first one? Because the
Yes.
first one was the one that had, other things
Oh,
to do with it. Yeah, that how long did it take for you to see a difference? And if I heard clearly, I'll be looking at 6 months, correct? You see
yes.
a difference.
Between 4 and 6 months, it's when the changes are solid, I would say. They're more obvious. Sometimes, at the beginning, we would see during the trip, he's sitting, or he takes more time on the table, but those things are hard to, monitor. But then you start to see a regularity in some behaviors that clearly, there was change. And I'm sorry, you would then, in family gatherings, people say, "Oh, he's growing now. He's not anymore the same kid." If you knew what we are doing, you would not say that he's growing. It's what the background work we are doing that makes you believe that it's age related. So yes, again, occasional changes quickly you can see, but solid observation, stable observations give 4 to 6 months.
That's cumulative effect, basically.
Not really. It's how long it took for his son. This is still being researched.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he can talk from experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
3 at once, and then the other children that has been exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you so much. This has been very important because it is life-changing. It's whoever is experiencing it that would understand even deeper. So that being said, what would you leave with us as your parting words for tonight?
Wow. My first word is gratitude to Dr. O for opening this opportunity for all of us to share our work, to share our experiences, and to hear from the others and learn from the others what they're experiencing in life. And secondly, I would like to say that the product we have, Mind Vital Pro, is a support it's a dietary support to help with gut and brain function. That it's not a medicine, but it works on the side of the therapy prescribed by the doctors, whose therapy I strongly recommend to follow what your doctors say, because it's their role. Most of them, they do it from heart, and please listen to what your doctors are recommending. And to finish, it just feels good to be home. That's my last word. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. And Medical Mondays family, if you're interested in, participating in research, or there's something going on that you feel that, oh, you're beginning to forget or something, reach out so that, more data can be collected in this realm. Dr. Guleye, kindly unmute. You have your hand raised.
Hello, Dr. O. Thank you for another yet wonderful presentation. I want to thank all the doctors in the house for what you're doing for the African community, for stepping up and not leaving this totally in the hands of other ethnicities. And I want to add this, not as a medical practitioner, and I don't want to say it's on behalf of any medical practitioner because I want you guys to stay clear. But here's what I want to add. When medical practitioners of African descent, when they discover a cure, a medicine, they have to label it as supplement. It is very difficult for their research, for their products to get passed by the powers that be. Unless they're, the powers that be. Let me just leave it at that. So for anybody that is willing to try this, don't say because the doctors here say, oh, it's just a supplement that you think it's in the league of vitamin C, vitamin D. No, please don't see it that way. I've known many so-called supplements that actually cured, but because they're not passed by the mainstream pharmaceutical industry, they have to be labeled as such. I just want to put that up. Thank you.
Dr. O?
Thank you so much. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
I agree with that. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Amen.
It's true.
Auntie Tina, good evening, ma. Thank you, ma.
Good evening. How are you?
Thank
I
you, ma.
completely agree with her, the last speaker.
Yes.
There are many out there that cure patients, but well, I'm in the pharmacy profession, but
He's a pharmacist. I was going to say that.
I don't believe in some of the things happening these days.
Mhm.
So let me leave it at that.
Mhm.
Yeah, God gave us plants for food and medicines, and some of the plants are doing very well. They are healing patients or curing them from their diseases. We thank God for that.
So thank you so much, ma. Appreciate you, ma. I'm sorry, usually, but I have to read this. Something was just posted in the chat box by Thelma. She said they have been using those tablets for about a month now. And they have definitely seen some changes so far. Although he has more struggles going to bed, he has begun to try to pronounce more words. His mouth is more flexible and open to words. She says she definitely can't wait to see what the next 4 to 6 months will bring to them. They've been using the supplement for 1 month.
Praise God.
Praise God. Thank you.
And Dr. Ajay says his attention span. Oh, she also says that his attention span has also deeply increased. And now he even comes up to people to hug them when they come home.
Wow.
Hallelujah.
Wow.
That's good.
Amen. Amen.
That's good.
Wow.
So Dr. Muhale, could it be possible